Welcome back to the beautiful Bonsai channel. Did you know, in Vietnam, there is a plant grown not only for its blossoms, but also for its striking bonsai form, a plant whose tiny flowers carry within them 1,000 years of culture and belief? That is the peony flower, the Vietnamese Bông Trang. This humble flower appears in many colors: red, yellow, white, orange, and pink. Yet few people realize that behind these vibrant shades lie different symbolic meanings. The peony is not only a symbol of prosperity, it also conveys messages of good fortune, grace, devotion, and serves as a gentle doorway leading us back to the soul of ancient Vietnamese life. Remember to subscribe to support our channel so we can bring you even better content. Today, we will discover why this traditional flower often appears in solemn, quiet spaces, ancient temples, sacred shrines, peaceful altars, and why it never appears at weddings. Since ancient times, the peony has been seen as a symbol of nobility and royal grace, honored as the mother of all beauties. With its radiant blossoms, layered petals, and countless delicate fringes, the peony carries the meaning of wealth, honor, and refinement. For generations, it has held a respected place in rituals and folk beliefs. This flower can be found across many countries: China, Vietnam, Thailand, Japan, the United States, the Netherlands, and several others around the world. Decorative culture, folk beliefs, and traditional psychology. In Vietnam, some people believe that the peony represents a single mother, simply because they interpret the Sino-Vietnamese phrase "mẫu đơn" in a literal way. But to me, that understanding is not accurate. The blossom of the Vietnamese peony is round and full, with countless tiny petals layered gently inside, soft, feminine, and elegant. It carries both the beauty of womanhood and the meaning of abundance and happiness. And of course, in each country, people view this flower and each of its colors a little differently. Allow me to share my personal perspective for you to consider. In the distant past, only noble families, royal households, aristocrats, and high-ranking officials had the leisure and wealth to plant flowers merely for enjoyment. Ordinary families, living in hardship, barely had enough to eat. Planting decorative flowers was a luxury far beyond reach. Because of those difficult times, whenever people mentioned the peony, they naturally thought of wealth, status, and prosperity. Later, when society developed and people's lives became more comfortable, the distance between noble and common households gradually narrowed. Middle-class families began planting flowers around their homes. For them, it brought warmth, closeness, and a sense of family harmony. Whenever the peony bloomed, it seemed to draw the members of the household closer, creating an atmosphere of affection and unity. Today, in modern life, people have better financial stability. Anyone can grow whatever flower they like, decorate their gardens however they wish. And so, many ornamental plants, including the peony, have flourished alongside the rising bonsai culture across the country. People admire the flowers as a reflection of prosperity, peace, and serenity in their lives. In reality, when we gaze upon a blooming peony, we feel its quiet beauty. Calm, humble, never loud or flamboyant. It carries a sense of elegance, integrity, and gentleness. Much like the virtues of a refined person, its feminine grace and soft fragrance make it especially suited for solemn, sacred environments. That is why the peony is often used in spiritual ceremonies, creating an atmosphere of purity, dignity, and deep symbolic meaning. Northern Mẫu đơn and Southern Bông Trang. In northern Vietnam, the peony, often called đơn ta, produces large, multi-layered blossoms with numerous petals. It blooms seasonally, mainly around the 3rd and 8th lunar months. Its colors, red, yellow, and white, remain vibrant for nearly half a month before fading. The plant grows in clusters, with small stems and many shoots sprouting rapidly from the base. People commonly plant it in front yards, along walkways, or beside village paths to beautify their living spaces. In the south, however, it is known as Bông Trang. The plant grows larger, fuller, and blooms year-round, often used as a decorative feature in gardens and courtyards. The colors of the Vietnamese peony. The peony in Vietnam appears in many beautiful shades. Red peony, symbol of luck, wealth, and the attraction of prosperity. Yellow peony, symbol of nobility, passion, and aspiration. White peony, symbol of purity, sincerity, and gentle affection. Peonies as bonsai and imported varieties. You may have seen peony bonsai with ancient, weathered trunks, their bark rough, cracked and full of age, crowned by blossoms glowing in vivid colors. Such trees become living artworks, capturing the admiration of everyone who beholds them. Today in Vietnam, bonsai enthusiasts use many different types of peony to create stunning flower bonsai. One major source of raw material comes from large, old trunks of the traditional ta, grown for generations in rural areas such as Nam Thuan, Nam Dinh, Thuận Vi, Thái Bình, and many others. Another source comes from wild peonies collected in hilly or forested regions, often called forest peony. However, these trees can be difficult to keep alive when brought back and grafted with Dun Ta varieties because they are accustomed to forest soil, wild conditions, and natural habitats built over many years. Their care requires different techniques and much experience. On the market today, we also see many imported varieties: Thai peonies, Japanese peonies, and American peonies, such as American orange, American yellow, American pink. These flowers are large, vibrant, and carry a noble, refined appearance, adding more diversity and richness to the world of peony bonsai. Techniques for growing and caring for peony plants. Depending on the purpose, people grow peony plants in different ways. If grown for ceremonial use, people cultivate them in small garden plots, pruning for many branches so the plant produces more blossoms. If grown as a natural hedge around the yard, the tree is pruned according to preference, using vivid colors like red or yellow to create a beautiful living fence. If grown as bonsai, the peony should be planted in pots and kept in a cool, airy location. The soil mixture must be loose and well-drained, blending rice husk, coconut fiber, organic fertilizer, and decomposed compost. With proper care, the plant will grow strongly and bloom abundantly. Depending on the variety, climate, and cultivation technique, the size of the blossoms, their color durability, and the length of their blooming period will differ. In recent years, northern Vietnam has hosted many peony exhibitions, bringing together countless colors and bonsai styles, from native varieties to imported ones, displayed by gardeners across the country in places such as Vu Ban, Nam Dinh, and Bac Thuận, Thái Bình. These events have elevated the culture of growing and appreciating peonies to a new level. Conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, from the native Vietnamese peony to the many imported varieties, growers, collectors, and bonsai artisans have shaped them into exquisite living masterpieces. Today, the peony appears everywhere, from countryside to cities, in home gardens, sacred spaces, public parks, and any place where people wish to bring beauty and harmony to their surroundings. It stands as a flower with ancient roots, a symbol of elegance, nobility, prosperity, and gentle beauty. A flower of quiet blessings, serene, refined, and carrying within it mysteries that words cannot fully express.